Just click live.
Oh.
What if your customers are trying to find your business online, but instead of finding you, they find your competitors? Now, more than ever, it's time to make sure you have the right SEO to make your business stand out online. Welcome to Go Mind Your Business with Terry Bork, presented by Extreme Marketing Concepts, putting your business in front of the hungry herd of buyers who are looking for you right now. Extreme Marketing Concepts, helping you drive more traffic, dominate the market, and crush your competition. And now, here's Terry.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Go Mind Your Business. My name is Terry Bork, and I'm really excited to have you here with me today. I've got a really special guest with me today who can help us all with a very important thing. So her name is Angela Wills, and please help me welcome Angela. Hi, Angela. Welcome to our show today.
Hi, Terry. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me here.
Oh, it's so great. Thank you so much for being here with us today. It's a pleasure to have you. What Angela does, guys, is Angela helps people to build their list to success. As you know, list building is so important in business today, whether you are a brick and mortar business and you're looking to grow your client base so that they know what you're up to, or you're an entrepreneur and you're working on growing your list there so you can share your products and services with the world. So one of the many skills that Angela has is list building. So again, Angela, I'm so excited to have you share that with us today.
Thank you.
Yeah. So let me share a little bit about you with everybody first, and then I'll kind of get into some questions for you. So guys, Angela Wills started her first website in 1999 just for fun, and she created her first online store, Rainkist, in 2001, selling soaps and bath and body products. And by 2006, Angela was running a full-time virtual assistant business from home after she quit her afternoon factory job. And you can call Angela a serial entrepreneur if you like, and she prefers to say she learned the hard way. After finding WordPress somewhere around 2004, Angela fell in love with its easy layout, its range of features, and its ability to let you edit a website from anywhere and from any computer. Since then, she's been building websites, teaching courses, and offering support to hundreds of small business owners who want to use WordPress to grow their business. And you can find Angela's website at www.marketersmojo.com. So again, Angela, I'm so excited. And I know today, Angela does a ton of things, but today we're really focusing on email list building. So tell me, Angela, how you first got started in list building itself.
Well, I was really lucky, Terry. We have some mutual friends in Kelly McCausey, and there's a lot of people who I know that I've known for a long time, and some of those people as well. And I feel like I was really lucky to find them in the beginning when I first started that business, Rainkist, that you mentioned, because I was looking for a way to build a business and get customers and make sales online and do all of that stuff. And I came across this membership group. It was at the time called Mom Masterminds, and these ladies were already doing that, so I started learning from them. And I knew about list building for a long time, back when I started Rainkist, and then back when I started my virtual assistant business. But I only kind of really dabbled in it. I think there's some things that hold people back from really building their email list, and you and I think we're going to talk about that in a little bit. But I kind of held myself back from really building a list until probably around 2006 or 2007, when I had a virtual assistant business and I wanted a better way to reach people, a way to reach more people, a way to have my income be more passive than the kind of job I had created for myself as a virtual assistant. So that's where I really got started. But like I said, I hung around with some pretty smart people who were promoting get your email list going, and so I kind of played around in it until I got serious at that time, and then started really growing it.
Oh, that's such an awesome story. And we talk about list building. Why is list building so important to achieve greater success in what you're doing online?
I think for me and for anyone who builds a significant list, the most important thing about it is that it's an asset for your business. You know, you don't own the people, obviously, but it is an asset in terms of something that you own as part of your business. You basically own your website, because if you're hosting on WordPress.org, you have hosting and that website belongs to you. And something you don't own is like your Facebook page, and I'm not knocking Facebook pages, they have a place, but you don't own that. You own your email list, and it's a really good asset to your business. I think that's one of the most important reasons, or one of the reasons why email lists are so important. That can go with you even through different businesses. So to me, if someone asked me, do you want to lose your website or your email list? I would say my email list. Now, of course, it depends on where you put your efforts. I mean, some people have websites that have a huge amount of traffic and they wouldn't want to lose that, and they have an email list that has 100 people and they haven't worked that email list. But for me, I've put a lot of focus into building my list, and so that is a huge asset to my business. Your list is also engaged, and that's why you can move them from one place to another. People will they get interested in who you are and what you're doing, and they can follow you from one business to another. If you ever decide, this business you're currently working is no longer a fit for you. So some people will follow you to the next business, which is awesome, right? So, and it's something you can send out on demand. So those are my kind of three main reasons why it's so important, that it's an asset, that you're engaged with those people and you're building that relationship, and it's an on-demand kind of marketing thing where you send out the message when you want to.
Oh, that makes perfect sense to me. I love that, and I love how you shared, like, as you evolve and change in life, because we all change and grow, or something else piques our fancy at one point in time or another, and the fact that you can bring your tribe with you from one business venture to the next, and a lot of them will continue to stay with you because they feel like you're part of their family.
Exactly.
It's awesome.
Yeah, yeah. And they will see you grow, and they often they'll be inspired by that. They'll want to see what you're doing next. And some people, it may not fit with them, and those people, they will, they might keep tabs on you anyway because they're still interested in what you're doing. So, yeah.
Cool.
It's pretty cool thing.
Really difficult for when to start growing your list if you're just getting started today, and a lot of our audience is just getting started with an at-home venture, working from home, doing something for themselves. Is it really hard to get going and moving forward?
Getting started, it isn't hard. I mean, you can get. I had someone ask me, let me phrase it this way. I had someone ask me recently if she could start her email list without a website. And I said yes, because you can add people manually. So if you're connecting with people and you ask them, can I add you to my email list, you can actually just start building them that way within the software. So you'll start building a list even if it's 10 people. If it's 10 people you've met and you say, hey, can I send you a really awesome report I wrote? And they say yes, you can add them. You need their permission. Well, check the CAN-SPAN rules, because they need to confirm. So there's some rules around that. So you don't want to spam people, but you have to have their permission. You can add them to a list, and you're starting to build your list. So the first thing you'll need is a software program to get started. And one of the things I do in my courses is I teach people what I use. I mean, really, I just teach where I'm at in different things, and so I teach the software I use, and what I use is Aweber. So to get started, to answer your question, how easy is it to get started? It's going and getting that software and then starting to use the tool to build your list. So it's not hard, and I wish for everyone to not think it's hard, because once you think it's hard, you look for ways to prove that it is hard. So just put it in your mind that it's not hard and prove that it's not. And there's lots of ways to make it easier.
Oh, that's fantastic. And I use the same tool as you. And guys, Aweber, we talked about it before. You get started with it for $1 for 30 days, and you can learn all about using Aweber in your business. And for $1, you'd be surprised what you could do with that list in 30 days. So you'll definitely make that $1 back. And, and I think it's less than $20 a month. So you'll be able to definitely, once you get going and start putting stuff out there, you'll be able to make that money back really quickly. So Angela, tell me, what could somebody's business look like 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, a year from now, if they were to get started building their list?
I love this question, Terry, because looking at it as an email list and work is not really teaching you what the benefit of having an email list is. And I can't necessarily say what everyone's life is going to look like, but I can certainly tell you what it did for mine. And within 30 days, you're just getting started then, and you're learning. So I think you're not going to see a ton. I'm not going to say, now everybody's different. You could rock it out in 30 days and just focus and spend all your time, well, not all your time, but a good chunk of time, and you could totally rock an email list in 30 days. Typically, you've got life going on, other things are happening, you might not have as much time, and you want the email list to prove itself. I think that's one of the biggest things with people doing new things. I need this to prove itself to me before I spend a lot of time on it. Just depends on your personality, right? But within 30 days, you could get set up. You could have an opt-in form on your website. You could have some people joining your list. You could definitely be going in 30 days. And then by 90 days, and this is where, where I started to see results, started seeing a kind of regular people joining my list, maybe one every couple of days. It builds on itself, and it takes a while. And like anything in marketing, you learn what's working as you work it. So you'll learn how people respond to your offers or respond to any attempts you make to build your list. You'll learn as you put stuff out there. And so by 90 days, if you're putting in consistent effort, you'll start to see where things are working. And so that kind of snowballs on itself, because now you keep doing those things. You keep doing the things that are working for you and your business. And so for me, I was running my virtual assistant business, and I had clients that came to me by word of mouth and things like that, and I was looking to sell products and sell information, courses, coaching programs, and things like that. And so by a year, I was starting to get the hang of, and I had the hang of getting sales. So I was getting sales, and within 3 years, I had moved my business away from a service-based business and into a group coaching business where I was using my email list to promote my group coaching programs. So for me, it equaled a whole lot more freedom. And that was what I was looking for when I quit my job in 2007, and I didn't find it through virtual assistants. And again, I'm not knocking anything here, because virtual assistants I love. It got me from the factory job to working at home. And in people who decide to use that business model can certainly grow up in terms of hiring people as a team. And I think, Terry, you've probably done that in your business. Had people who do work, and so there's a certain ability, there's a big ability for that business to grow. Sorry, I'm kind of off tangent here, but I just want to say I'm not saying anything bad about virtual assistants, but it was my jumping into business, and then as I built that list, I then moved to where I wanted to be.
Awesome. No, and I so get it. It's so great. You can explode. Everything takes time. There is no push button and you make it a gazillion dollars online. If you've heard that somewhere, I'm going to dispel it right now. It's not true. Everything that you do, you have to work at, and you don't start from day one being an expert. It takes time. I've been at this for a while. It takes time to understand how things work. If this email is going to work for what you're talking about, or if it's attracted the right group of people. So, like everything in life, you have to try it. You didn't learn how to ride a bicycle the first time you sat down on it. So,
Yeah,
set yourself up.
that's a sorry. I'm just the idea of being an expert, I think, is intimidating to some people. And if I use your bicycle example, it's a perfect example of what I tell people, because you don't have to be a bicycle expert to teach someone else how to ride a bicycle. So, as long as you are ahead of that person who wants to ride the bicycle, and you can say, hey, you sit on it and you pedal, you can offer advice and information. You don't have to say you're an expert. You don't have to say you know everything. And that's certainly not what I do. I always tell people, I am where I am, and I have a lot to share because I have a lot of years of experience doing this stuff. And so I don't claim to know everything, but I know enough to help a lot of people, and that's what I've done, and that's what I've always loved to do, and that's what I love to share that you can do as well, anyone who wants to build an email list.
I love it. I just love it, And one of the things that I love is, you're so easy to follow, you lay things out in such a nice step-by-step format that it makes it simple for people. So it's so great. We'll
Thank
talk more
you.
about that. You
I
bet.
hear that all the time, and it's so cool to hear the same thing over and over again. So anyone who's listening, if people start saying stuff to you, make sure if you're hearing the same thing multiple times, that's something to bring into your business as well, right? So I hear that comment a lot. So thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome. So let's talk about roadblocks. Are there typical roadblocks that typically prevent people from getting started and actually building out their list?
Absolutely. There are roadblocks. I mean, that's why email marketing is known by a lot of people. I mean, probably most of the people who are listening, even if they're just getting started, have probably heard they should have an email list. And maybe they didn't run out and do that right away because there are roadblocks. And I'm going to talk about the ones that are based in fear, because I really, I feel that when you get over a lot of the mindset stuff, and I'm not really a person who teaches on that specifically, but I feel like if you get over the mindset of being afraid, then you just move forward and you get stuff done and you start seeing results. So I'm going to talk about the fear roadblocks. And one of the things I kind of touched on is fear. It's a waste of time. People are afraid to put the effort into it, and this is with a lot of different things, but in email marketing, they're afraid to put that effort in for fear it won't work. And that's a typical fear of a lot of different kinds of business marketing type efforts. But that's when I see people are not too sure that it will really work for them. And the reasons are maybe they're afraid nobody will care what they have to talk about. They might think they're boring, or they don't know what to talk about. That's a big roadblock. They're like, I don't know what to say to an email list. So some people have started building a list, but then they're not sending them anything, which I'm not laughing at that, but these people have said to you, email me, and you're not emailing them. You have to start doing that. So that is something that they've asked you to do. So that's the way I phrase it. Like, don't think about your fear. Think about the people on the other end who said, hey, you can email me, and you're not taking advantage of that. So that's a fear for sure. Fear you will be criticized. That's a big fear, because if you put an email out there, someone might hit reply and say, you don't know what you're talking about. Someone might do that. And I can't say what someone said to me one time, but it was the funniest email reply I ever got. I sent out an email, and someone put, F you, Angela. And I can't say the swear word, but that's all they put in the email. And I was like, okay. And I had to laugh. It was just like, it was too funny. So you have to be, and I'm telling you this now because it is a fear,
Mhm.
and there's jerks out there. There's people who will do that. So I'm not going to tell you it won't happen. It will, but if you come at it with a sense of humor, I could have replied back and said, "What's your problem, buddy? Who do you think you are?"
Right?
But I laughed it off because it was funny. But then you'll get other ones who kind of hit maybe some sensitive spots. But you have to remember that these people aren't your target market. The guy who said that to me, I don't think he's going to ever buy anything from me. So I just go into Aweber, I delete him, and I don't worry about it. So, you
There
know,
you go.
that's a fear you can get over. Even if you have it, you can get over that one. And here's a big fear that if you send out emails, you're going to annoy people. So maybe you feel like you're going to send too many and people won't like that, or maybe you feel like you're sending the wrong message. Again, that's kind of the criticized topic. But again, the way to get over that is just to realize that the people who are going to be annoyed by your message, and you're going to learn as you go too. Maybe you will send out more emails than people would like, but those people aren't going to be your target market based on what you've made the decision to do. Or you're going to adjust and you're going to make sure you fit where your target market is. And so it's an adjustment. You will sometimes lose people when you build an email list. This is the truth. Not every single person who signs up is going to stick with you. And that's okay. So once you accept that and say, I'm going to laser target the people who I relate to and I want to connect with, then all that other stuff is just part of doing business.
Well, those are some really great roadblocks that, show up in every day. So thank you so much for sharing. We
I
talked
hope
about
I
some
didn't get it
growth.
too little too loud there.
Oh, it's perfect. Let's talk about strategies that are keys to unlocking some of those roadblocks, Angela. Can we touch on that a little bit?
Yeah, and I think I kind of skipped ahead of myself there with a number of them, and actually with all of them. I think I mentioned the fear and then kind of did that, but just to summarize all of it together, any of those fears, if you realize your objective is to connect with the people who are attracted to what you have to offer, with who you are naturally, then you don't have to worry about that. Because if someone's not attracted to who you are naturally, you don't have to be a certain way, you don't have to act a certain way. They're just attracted to who you are and what brand you've created with your business. If they resonate with that, they're going to be attracted to your business and become a customer. If they're not, they go their own way, and you get to do your thing, they get to do theirs. And I think if you keep that focus in mind instead of thinking about, the people who aren't your target market, then you will be able to move forward and be happy with all the success you can achieve with email marketing.
Oh, it's so great. And I know those tips are wonderful, and you can put all of that into building a very successful tribe, if you will, with email marketing. So I love it. Now, one of the things that I love, like I said before, is the way that you teach. And you have such a systematic approach to really taking people from not knowing how to build a list to building a list that's thriving. And you do that with your coaching course, email list Mojo. So can you tell us a little bit about email list Mojo so that people can understand it?
I can. I have a number of coaching programs that I've set up, and Email List Mojo is one of them. And so what I do in this course is I break it down into 4 weeks, just because it's a nice amount of time to start really mastering getting your email list up and starting to build the list. And I walk people through week by week different modules within my customer area, so you can go in and there's videos and there's PDF downloads. It's a multimedia kind of thing where you get the different formats that are appropriate for the learning that you need at that time. And I have assignments. So people who take my courses like that because there's something to do. I really don't like to put out content without telling you to take action. And so that's why I create it that way. I create the learning and the assignments. And then a major part of my courses and coaching programs is that you get feedback and personal coaching from me. So I provide that as part of the programs that I have. You know, a lot of my major coaching programs that I do. And that's a big part of it, because if you want someone to ask a question to in those first 4 weeks that you're going through that content, I'm there to answer your questions. So you can just shoot me an email and I reply, and I'll help you brainstorm, and you know, I'll talk to you about any roadblocks you are coming across as you are building your email list, or any technical things. Now, Aweber is pretty good with training and stuff like that, but sometimes you want an answer fairly quickly, or you don't want to have to go watch a whole webinar, and I can help you with that as well. So that's what I offer in my training. I lost your voice.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, yes.
Okay, perfect. So, you know, I need to unmute my microphone, right? So,
Perfect.
yeah. So, guys, you can find it by going to terrybork.com/elm, which is email list Mojo, ELM. And you know, again, she has Angela has this amazing way of just really breaking it down, and I love the homework opportunity, right? Because you'll actually get to implement, you know, what she's demonstrated to you. You'll get to put it into practice, and they say the best way to learn is through doing, right? That's what we teach our kids too. They go to school, they go home, they have the assignment, and then you know they work through it so that they can get good at it. And it's the only way I think that there is to learn, is to listen and implement and take action, grow your list, change
Yes.
your life in 90 days, and you'll start changing it anyway. Because who knows what you can do with your business. And it doesn't matter if you, again, you're a brick and mortar store, you still have specials, you still have want to connect with
Absolutely.
your customer base, because that's how they develop that know, like, and trust factor with you. So online, offline makes no difference. Just getting started is what's going to make the difference. And I recommend this course. It's awesome. So, you know, I definitely think you should take advantage of it. Right, Angela?
Yes. If you do one thing, you know, at least sign up for the $1 trial, because
Yeah, tell me about that. Would you tell me about that?
well, like I said, I teach the programs I use, and I use Aweber. I think it's one of the absolute best out there. Obviously, I'm biased because I use it, but just there's a trial that you can do for 30 days, and you can start using it and start finding out what it's about. I mean, if you're intimidated or you're not sure, go sign up, go have a look at it, realize it's going to take a little time to learn, like any software. Just think about getting a new software. It takes a little time. So, but get in there and get that trial. One of the things a lot of my clients say to me, or one of the ways they look at something like Aweber, it starts out at $20 a month, and they think that's an expense. And I say, you know, if you're using it the way you should be using it, it's not an expense. It's an investment in your business, because that needs to come back. You should absolutely be making, as your list grows and it is profitable, more than $20 a month with your list. So you shouldn't even think that that's money out the door and never coming back. You know, it needs to be out, come back in, because you're working it and you're building your email list.
Oh, that's a really great advice. You know, I heard that, you know, if you're not, if you have a business and it's not making any money, you've got a great hobby. So the
Right.
best way for you not to have a hobby is to connect with people and develop your know, like, and trust. Get a list. It's the easiest way to sell something, and then turn that hobby into an income profit center.
Absolutely. The list is so important, and I'm not just saying that because I'm here with my course. It is. It really is so important to build that list. If I had to pick the one activity right now, that's the one I use every day in my business. It's the one that I wouldn't let go of. It's the first thing I'd set up if I was setting up a new thing, other than, I love websites. I teach people how to build websites. So I set up the website first. That is the first thing I do. And then I add the email list. And it's so important. Can't stress that enough.
I got it. Oh, perfect. And I love it. So again, guys, you'll find it at terrybork.com/ELM for email list mojo. So, Angela, it was so great to have you come and share with us today about developing an email list. Are there any final thoughts you'd like to leave us with?
My final thought is just to do it now. Do anything that you want to do with your business right away. So if this hits the right chord or the right motivational part of your brain right now, do it now. Get yourself signed up for an email list and start focusing on building that list. So that is, it doesn't matter what you're promoting, as you mentioned already, is on a offline business, a service business, a information product type business. All of these can really benefit from an email list. So that my final word is just to take action. I love when people take action.
Oh, that's so great. Well, thank you so much for sharing with us today. I loved having you on our program. Again, her name is Angela Wills, and you can find her at um, marketers. Oh, tell me the website again, Angela, because I'm going to mess it up. Marketersmojo.com, right?
Yes, that's right. Sorry, you were almost there, so I didn't want to interrupt you.
I'm sorry, guys, right? It's www.marketersmojo.com, and you
That's
can
it.
find her email program right here at terrybork.com/elm for email list marketing. Guys, it's been so great to have you join me here today. As you know, I love talking with movers and shakers and how they're bringing value to community and why you should know about them. So if you know somebody that I should be talking with, please let me know. And until we meet again next time, we say thank you to Angela. And
Thank you.
you bet. And go mind your business. And have an awesome day. I'll see you next time. You take care now. Bye-bye, everybody.
Thank you for listening to Go Mind Your Business with Terry Bork, presented by Extreme Marketing Concepts. If you want to drive more traffic, dominate the market, and crush your competition, find out how by visiting our website, www.extrememarketingconcepts.com. And join Terry next time for another episode of Go Mind Your Business.